Hi, everybody. It's Elena of the Witches Box, and here we are on another Tuesday where we do an oracle reading for the week, and then we get together for a live witchy Q&A about all things witchcraft. Hello. Hi. Look at how busy the chat box is. This is amazing. Who do we have here? We have Emerence, we have Kay, we have Anna. Hello. Kim. Let's see who I missed. Reiko, Jesse, Monica, Crystal. Hello, hello. Yay. It's so good to see you all. It feels like I haven't seen you in a very long time because we did a pre-recorded guided meditation on Friday. So I haven't seen you for a week, which seems like, I don't know, seems like forever. And this is going to be a pretty intensive week. You're going to get a little tired of me because today we have a live, and then I am doing, why do I feel like I'm doing a live tomorrow? I'm not doing a live tomorrow. I'm doing a live here on Thursday because I'm going to do like a free foundational class on what wayfinding is as it relates to doing things like going into trance or doing journeying or guided meditation or dream work. So I'm going to do a foundational class on what that is and how it's important to set that type of foundation up for yourself before you do the work moving forward. And it's sort of a prelim to the virtual retreat that we're having in a week and a half or 2 weeks now. No, it's actually in a week. Well, a week and a half. So I wanted to do that for those of you who still have questions about, like, I don't know if this virtual retreat's for me. It sounds a little too advanced, yada, yada. So I wanted to just do a free class. It'll just live here on YouTube. Everyone kind of needs this foundational work anyway. We're not going to go into how this relates to having an oracle or working with an oracle, but it'll give you like a foundation. In any case, it's free. So for whoever wants to join in and check it out and participate and learn, come. It'll be here on Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. And then on Friday, we're going to do our guided meditation live because I will be here. I'm back in town. So like that, will the retreat pre-thing on? Yes. So Anna, the pre-retreat, they're connected, but this can also stand alone. That class here on YouTube, it'll be a live stream, but it'll just live here. So you can come back and check out the recording at any time you want. So it'll be available to you if you can't catch it at 10 o'clock that day, because I know it's kind of a funky time for a lot of people. And is there another? For those of you who are participating in the virtual retreat, be on the lookout by this weekend, probably by Friday, for the like how to prepare going into like the retreat the next week email, and I'll post it also to the forum. And the registration deadline for that virtual retreat is April 20th. So you got, what, 8 days? So you have a week before you make a decision to register. And oh, also, hello. Tomorrow, Wednesday, our mystery boxes go on sale. We're going to have another run. It's just now part of our cleaning the warehouse out process. We have a nice chunky batch of new mystery boxes going on sale tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. There will be another email releasing that information tomorrow morning. It'll also be posted here on all the social medias and all the things. And I think that that's it for announcements. Oh, no, that's not true. Oh my God, what am I trying to say? What month are we in? The April boxes are being mailed out as I speak. So today's Tuesday, some mailed out yesterday, some will be mailing out today through Wednesday and Thursday. So those of you who are waiting for your April boxes, they're finally being shipped out. Yay. And I think that that's it for announcements. Hey, Lady J, Susan, welcome. Hello, hello. It's good to see you all. We have a good number of people here. It's wonderful to hang out on a Tuesday. We're going to be reading from this deck, same one as last week. It is, oops, here we go, the Mystical Shaman Oracle card deck by Alberto Villoldo, Colette Baron Reed, and oh God, I can't see the name. Is it Marcia? For the love of all things. Marcela Toros Lobos. I'm due for new readers because I think that my eyesight just took a dive over the last month. Anyway, there's that. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Darlene. Okay, so I already pulled it. I love this card, and what they wrote about the card is a little different than what came up for me, but I'll share both. So the card that was pulled was Beauty Way. It's number 4. This is a beautiful, I mean, as I've said this before, the artwork for this deck is always just, I mean, it's ridiculously cool. Have I showed you the back? I don't know if I have. The back is okay. It's nothing exciting, but I love the front. So Beauty Way. Beauty Way is a concept that is part of various shamanic traditions, also Native American tradition, and working with or practicing a beauty path is also part of, named differently, but also part of many Hindu traditions as well. And so the concept behind walking the path of beauty or following the beauty way is that you approach every part of your life with the intention and the orientation of adding beauty to everything. So it's an ugly situation. People are being passive aggressive. How are you going to add beauty to this? And it's not the superficial beauty. It's not the veneered, masked, cosmetic beauty. It's the true intrinsic beauty. How are you adding beauty into your life? How are you adding beauty into the environment that you're in? It's about looking at things from not like a toxic positivity, but where's the beauty here? Yes, there may be snipping between people, but where's the beauty in each of them? Where's the beauty in the situation? Where's the beauty that I'm bringing to this conversation? The other part of beauty, and this is the way that I relate to beauty most, even though, yes, those things, but beauty is at its definition, and I'm paraphrasing, and I'm not even quite sure who said this first. But beauty, true beauty with a capital B, sacred beauty, holy beauty, is that which is completely and utterly itself. There's no mask, there's no pretending. This applies to nature and people and circumstances and all the things. So an example of beauty is there's like a little dandelion. It is doing nothing other than being exactly what it's meant to be. It's naked, it's pure, it's uncovered, right? It's just being itself. There's a tremendous amount of power in that. And because it's that type of beauty, it tends to arrest us and in a very split second bring us into the present moment, that we're not in the past, we're not in the future, we're right here, right now, engaged in life. And so an example of that probably everyone here can relate to is, let's say you're going along and I don't know, you're driving by the ocean, or you're driving on a mountainside, or you're driving in a park. I don't know, you're driving somewhere where all of a sudden you get a clear view of a spectacular sunset or a sunrise. We've all had this experience where all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, that's beautiful, right? It's just that arrest, that moment of like, whatever it was that you were doing, whatever it was that you were thinking or about to think or worrying about, all of it just falls away in a split second of perfect existence, where you're literally in the present and you're engaged in this thing, being completely and wholly and purely itself, a sunrise or a sunset. And that is the definition of beauty, being that clear. There is, in various Hindu or tantric circles, where they talk about there's nothing more beautiful than a pig in shit, or a pig rolling around in shit, because it's just happy. And that is beautiful, even though we're like, ew, pig in shit, what is that, right? It's the holy, pure thing, only itself, without mask, without whatever. Okay. So when we talk about walking the beauty way or walking the path of beauty, and making it a spiritual practice to create beauty, we're talking about allowing a thing to be what it is. An altar with a beautiful rose, and just a beautiful rose, is a powerful, beautiful, and very effective ritual. And altar, you have a thing that is holy and totally itself. And just to meditate on that can open up all sorts of things for you, right? It can be a very powerful, very potent, very grounding, very centering type of meditation. It can just be that. So all that to say is, how are you bringing beauty into your life from that orientation? How are you embodying that beauty from that orientation? How are you showing up wholly and purely and truly yourself? Part of this conversation I brought up, well, I know exactly what I brought up. It was last summer when I posted on my personal my personal Instagram, I wrote, because I was doing journaling, I was going through a thing, and this question popped up, and I wrote it out, and I took a picture of it, and I posted it on my personal Instagram, which is, what would happen if you just showed up as only who you truly were? Which is what was the impetus for letting my hair grow out, because I'm like, I don't even know what my hair looks like. How am I really showing up fully if I don't even know what my hair looks like, right? Now, I'm not telling you that you need to, grow out your hair. By all means, dye your hair if you need to. But that's part of that. How are we showing up in our truest beauty, in real sacred beauty, not the beauty of what we talk about, not the beauty that is in magazines and that has us thinking that we have to alter ourselves in any way. How are we showing up purely who we are? So that is the question for the week. It is about being in the beauty way. I love this card. I feel like I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, but there it is. And if you're just joining us, you can go ahead and watch this on the replay and check out what the Oracle reading was. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show. The holiest is a piglet rolling in its own shit. Yeah, right? I mean, that's a true story. This is a pig who's thrilled and happy and just in the moment, right? Just in it. It's just in it. So like that. Okay, let me see what I've missed. All this stuff talking back and forth. Monica, hello. Carol, hi. Lisa, hi. Elena from Boston. Hi, Boston. I just subscribed to your Witches Box. Woohoo! I'm so excited. Wonderful. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome. I'm glad that you joined the box. If you joined today. Oh, speaking of beauty and the box, I think that the May box could also be a celebration of beauty as well. I feel that way about it. So that's a little bit of a hint. So all that to say that, Lisa, you're probably you're going to get the May box because today's the 12th. So you subscribed in time to get that box. Woohoo! Anna, I'm going through this process. I've lost my hair from chemotherapy and I feel more authentic and present than I ever have. Beautiful. Beautiful. And how empowering, right? That, I mean, there's so many layers to this, but how empowering that it doesn't really matter. And this, I think, is a key component to the mystery of beauty and true beauty. It doesn't even matter who looks at you and what they think about you. You embody something that is so powerful when you're like, I feel fully who I am. There is so much liberation in that. And there's an incredible energetic magnetic to that translates as beauty, as true beauty. And even if people aren't spiritually mature enough to see that in that way, they're still affected. They don't know what it is, but they know that it's powerful. They know that it's compelling. There's an attraction there. So beautiful. I love that you shared that. I'm smiling at Kay's comment. Angela, hello. I think I already said, yeah. No, did I say hi to Angela already? Hi, Angela. Love. Thank you for the love of the hair. I love my hair too. I'm really getting into it, I gotta say. Abby, happy birthday! That's wonderful. I fell down the astrology rabbit hole yesterday, yet to figure out the direction, but it's my lunar node return date. Apparently Jupiter Neptune conjunct Pisces. I mean, that's a big thing. I love it. And I love that you've been on a deep dive for a minute. I think that, weren't you the one who talked about this last week? I love that. Hello, JJ from Australia. Welcome. E. Vera, I love that. Blessed be witches to you too. Beautiful. I felt it so strongly. Wonderful. I'm like just so happy about the joy that's going on in this chat room. It's great. Hold on. Beautiful. Beautiful. Authenticity. I think authenticity is also the flavor that is most similar to, if not almost identical to, being in alignment, right? I talk a lot about this. A lot of witches talk about this who are teaching in this sphere, where the intention that you have when you want to manifest something through your magic needs to find alignment in you. And that alignment shows up in a lot of different ways. That alignment shows up with, like, I want this, but I also have to act like I have it, but I also have to act like I really want it. I also have to take the actual in real world steps to get it, right? All of those things are alignment, and they're different from feeling authentic. But when you can isolate the feeling that you have inside of you when you are really being in your authentic self, that open, liberated, centered energy, that is the same feeling, that same internal state that you're going for when you want to come into alignment with your magic and your intention, so that your intention and your belief system and the actions that you take to make that happen are all in alignment together. If we over time, doing different things like meditation and practices, right, we get much more adept at being able to isolate what is my internal state in the middle of this thing that I'm making happen, or in the middle of this other thing that I'm feeling or doing. When we can isolate those states, then we can apply that state to the other things that require that internal state. Does that make sense? I kind of went on a tangent there, but it's all related. I said once that the outside finally matches the inside. I love that. Oh, I want to cry. Sorry. That's beautiful. I'm glad that you felt that. Yeah. I mean, how liberating and how healing. Yeah. That's beautiful. Amern says, I recently saw a video of a little boy walking his dog, put down the leash just to jump in a puddle. The old dog just sat there, waited while the little boy jumped, and then picked up the leash. Oh, that's adorable. Just joy. Joy. Isn't that beautiful? So like that. Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm not going to sing because I don't want to like destroy your ears. E. Vera says, I chopped off my hair into a pixie with an undercut. It feels wholly me. I love it. I'm also aligning more with my asexual identity, and as a mom of 3, married 22 years, this is huge. That's huge. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That's empowering. That's so empowering. Okay, you're talking to Emerence. Abby says, the books from last month are helping generate loads of questions to discover answers to. Beautiful. I mean, and there's so many things, and I don't remember, so please forgive me. I don't remember if you were on the live gathering with Danielle Blackwood. I don't remember, so forgive me because I can't keep track of, just about anything. But she did give us quite a few books as recommendations to go deeper. And I think at this point, anything by Stephen Forrest will help you go further. And I think I've talked about this before. And here on YouTube somewhere, I've got the reviews to the 4 of his books that I read that were like dense. There's a lot of information there that made me feel a little like, oh, this is a lot, and a little dizzy. But he describes it in a way that's easy to learn. And I read through them at a fairly quick pace because I wanted to get them done so that I can do a review. But if you just take some time and do a little deep dive and just linger in it, the information is phenomenal. And the way he writes is really accessible. And he's coming from the perspective that Danielle Blackwood, because I think this is one of her teachers, comes from, which is archetypal astrology or psychological astrology, right? Which deals with the soul, or is it soul astrology? I know it's archetypal astrology, and something else that she called it, but they're all basically the same. But anyway, all that to say is that he writes from that perspective, and it's very introspective, very soul driven. I love it. And it's recommended. That's a lot of talking. So today, I've already told you what my announcements are. But today I'm doing something a little exciting. So we're going to stop at the top of the hour for sure. Your girl's getting photographed. Just like, I'm feeling a little like, woo. But I have a friend who's coming down who's an amazing photographer, and she's going to be photographing me and a couple of just beautiful things that we're going to be using moving forward with the Witches Box this year, and a couple of new things that are coming down the pike, which I'm not going to tell you about yet, but you'll be hearing about it in the next several months. But like that. Anything else I want to tell you? The books that are going to be happening, this is important. The books that are coming for May are, they're all related, right? Because we're talking about the soul, we're talking about our spiritual path, we're talking about empowering ourselves and magic. But these 2 books are, they're good. They're on the same topic, but coming from different angles, and I'm excited about it. So today's the 12th. If you've been thinking about subscribing to the books and you haven't, you want to make sure to do it before the 15th of this month, because that's the cutoff date. Same thing for the box. You need to do it now before the 15th, before the cutoff date, so that you can make sure to get the May box. Thank you, E. I know I have been on the other side of a camera. I have been the one holding the camera on quite a few photo shoots in the past because I'm an amateur, like pro, intermediate level photographer. Um, I did the photography for 2 books that are out in the world. But I haven't really done that in a long time, unfortunately, because, you know, life, there's a lot of other things that I'm focusing on creating. But being the one who's photographed is a whole other surrender. So we'll see how it goes. Very slowly, we will trickle out those photos throughout the year. But yeah. Update: the neighbors upstairs are still noisy, but the salt concoction seems to be helping. Oh, good, good. And you might want to. I think that I thought about you this week. I think that I said to you and to the group to change the salt out once a week. But if it's a really intensive area, I mean, and this might get a little pricey, but salt's fairly cheap. Change it out daily so that you can keep it going. So while it's really intense, if you change it out daily, see how that goes. And then I also thought about if you want to kind of make things friendly between you and them, because it sounded like they were super problematic, add orange, like dried orange peel or slices of orange or orange essential oil, and that'll help kind of bring a little bit more of a friendly, compatible, cooperative kind of vibe to the space as well. Excuse me, I had to burp. The mystery box sale is tomorrow. Yes, it's a big week. This is kind of a big month, not gonna lie. There's a lot happening. And hello, next month, May, we have our very, very first live in-person retreat. I'm gonna cry. I'm so excited. This is our first one. It's so exciting, and it's an amazing group. There's actually 2 spots left for that. That's gonna happen in May here in Southern California. So we've got a lot going on. Emerin says, I got a pink salt grinder. Oh, perfect. And just sat and ground a bunch of added and everything I could think of that you suggested. Beautiful. You can get, so pink salt is fantastic. Sea salt is great. Kosher salt is great. You can technically use like the Morton salt with iodine, but you want to keep the iodine out because that's a whole other energetic. You want to really just keep the salt and all its mineral content kind of fresh, right? But any of that salt would work really well. Hold on. Anna says, salt is so powerful. I only work with it when I really need something. Oh no, I work with it on a daily. I love salt. Love it. Hey, butterfly magic and with hot tea. Butterfly magic with hot tea. That sounds amazing. Susan, hello. I think did I say, I don't know that I said hi to you, Susan. So hi for a second time in case I already said it. Beautiful. Esther, yes. Right, you're gonna be there. So exciting. What books are you bringing? This is the question of the day. JJ says that looked amazing. I can't get to the US, but oh my god, looks so nurturing. That's what we're going for. Nurturing, cozy, magic, loungy, good food. Witches in a house. It's all about witches in the house in the forest. I can't wait. Are there any colors of salt no, the only thing that I would avoid for this is that if you were to make black witch salt, which is for a specific thing, right? It's a protector, it's a cleanser, it's a draw, or like carbon is, which is similar to what regular salt does, but regular salt, I'm sorry, just neutralizes everything, where black salt has a very particular energetic movement which it draws out and cleanses and eradicates. That's the only thing that I would stay away from, because you want to use black salt for its very specific purpose. And what do you use it for other than protection? I only use it for protection because I use other salt so much that I let that be what it is. You know what I'm saying? I need water. That's what I need. What else is going on? In the magical world, because I was thinking of all the different TV shows that I'm excited about, but let's not talk about that here. In the magical world, what's going on? There is something really phenomenal about the weather warming up. It's still kind of chilly today, but the sky is blue and everyone's like waking up. There were blooms all along the desert while we were driving over the weekend to go be with family. And there is something really powerful and like attracting me to just be outside and meditate as opposed to indoors. And I am not like, I love nature. I'm an animist. I'm all about like being in the natural world, but I'm not. I don't like bugs attacking me. I don't like things assaulting my vibe. I can't, right? I remember there's like someone, I don't know, I had a meltdown over some bug and they're like, "Aren't you a witch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not that witch, man. I can't be dealing with bugs assaulting me." All that to say that there's still something going on with me where I'm like, I just want to have my back to a tree and be outside meditating. That is what I'm like. I'm finally ready to get out of the house because this winter has felt like it's been going on for like, I don't know, 8 years. So there's that where I feel like my own personal practice is wanting to be more outside, which is exciting and it's also very rare. um, hold on. Tanya says, "What do you feel about ground eggshell?" Ground eggshell is fantastic for like protection circles. We talked about protection, I think, last week, if I'm not mistaken. So if you had ground eggshell and you wanted to create like and with the powder, you know, create like a parameter around your room or your house in order to create extra protection, you can do that. It's also great if you're going to be casting a circle and doing a ritual. It's great for that as well. I know that there are some people who use eggshell in their rituals, like on their bodies, to use it kind of like to mark out sigils on themselves as a protection rite or spell as well. Yeah, go for it for sure. However, if you're asking how do you feel about ground eggshell as a way to neutralize energy in the room, that's different, right? It's a great barrier creator, but it's not a like let's neutralize the space. It's a little different. Emerin says, "I'm beginning to think I should start ordering salt by the pound from Amazon." Yes, and it might be cheaper, although I think that they're really in huge bulks. There's a place called Salt Work Company. Um, I don't know that you can get anything less than 5 pounds, which might be more than you can like want, but I would check them out too. They've got amazing quality salt and they have a variety of different types of salt. And then this is what I recommend if you're really loving the idea of working with salt, give yourself room to like experiment with one type of salt in one room and another type of salt in another. So you have like maybe um, beautiful sea salt, like just raw sea salt in one room, pink Himalayan salt in the other, flaky kosher salt in another, to kind of see if there's a little bit of a difference. It's a great way of practicing your own intuitive like sensing, right? Can I sense what the subtle energy in the space is, and play with that. That's a great thing to do to kind of practice and get better. Hold on. Butterfly Magic says, "We have cold and snow from November until March, which keeps the bug populations very small in the north." I know, I envy that. Everything is like buzzing and alive right now, which is amazing. It's beautiful. It's spring. It's what it's supposed to be. But I don't want to be sitting out by a tree and have like, you know, a fly just like bash into my face. Nobody needs that. Nobody wants that. um, Hold on. Esther says, "I love ground eggshell in Santeria. We use it in every ritual." Yes. Anna, "I'm going to the desert for a month. I don't want to bring a ton of stuff. What should I be sure to bring? I would appreciate any advice." Well, it depends on what you're working on right now. So, if it's really just about having an altar to honor the sacred in your life, if you work with a deity, you might want to bring a statue. Or if you don't want to like even carry that, sometimes like packing for yourself, depending on how long you're going to be gone, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles that are a little pillar candle, you can, before you leave, like really write this out and get clear about what you're going to be doing. But let's say that your altar right now is really focusing on connecting with a particular deity or connecting with your ancestor, or you're working on a particular type of magic, or an altar just to kind of focus you for meditation, whatever the intention is. You create a sigil for that on paper for that particular intention. And then if you have it on hand, don't, you know, I mean, if you have the time to like buy things, do that. But if you don't, whatever you have on hand, an oil and a botanical that helps support that intention, that brings in the full energy of what that altar is, but in a very simplified form. And then you get a really sharp object and you carve that sigil into the candle. You anoint it with oil. If you don't have any essential oils, you can use olive oil. It brings in peace, which doesn't hurt anybody. You anoint the whole thing with oil, especially the grooves that you've carved into the candle. And then you take the herb, the botanicals that you have, once they've been ground, you have to, I forgot to tell you this, you need to grind it down into a powder. So you've got your candle, you've carved your sigil, you've anointed it with the oil, and then you take that powder and you anoint and you rub it into the creases of that groove that you've carved in for the sigil. And now you've got just a candle that represents the whole of what your altar was at home that you brought with you, so that you can just light it every night and do your work. So that's an option as well. There are a lot of people who are super creative and create like mini traveling altars, like out of like Altoid tins or like small little boxes. And then, I mean, the creativity can be really amazing because you can, like, you know, create like little mini versions of everything if you're inclined, but I'm not inclined. So usually if it's that, like I'm traveling and I want to keep something going, I'll bring a candle with a sigil that represents what I'm working on and make it as simple as that. And then of course I bring my journal and I bring all of my books. Usually I can't bring a lot of altar stuff because I'm bringing books. It's really, you know, priorities. Cacarilla. I know it is cacarilla. I don't know it as ifun. I think I told you, you know, my dad was a sandero. But just, I don't know, in our home it was like a male thing. It wasn't really available. Like it just, we were kind of kept out of it, which bummed me out, but I trust that that was part of the path that I was on. Kay says, is there a good book for a beginner for sigils? Yes. I think it's called Sigil Witchery by Laura Tempest Zakroff. Just look up Laura Tempest Zakroff. And that book, I think, is probably the best book. The best book, the most accessible book. There are other forms and methods of working with sigils. She doesn't go into, I don't think, like working with shoals. That's a little, it's not necessarily more advanced, but there's more to it. But that's a really great place to start. It's a good book and it's accessible and easy to understand. Yeah, Anna, so that's a perfect thing to do. You, before you go, you prepare your candle with that intention and the things that you need to kind of like anoint it with it. And if you're going to be gone for more than a week, you know, you can take 2 or 3. And in Las Vegas yesterday, this is from Emirates, we got a freak windstorm, one of those severe weather advice. That's interesting. I was in Vegas. When was I in Vegas? From last Thursday through Sunday. We had a family reunion. We were all in a big house and we just kind of all hung out together. And the weather was thankfully good, but we also had air conditioning because I just was not ready for that kind of heat being here for so long. But it was fun. Kim, have you read or done a book review on Supercharged Self-Healing by R.J. Spina? No, I have not. He teaches how to access higher frequency consciousness for healing. He healed himself of chest down paralysis. Wow, hold on a second. Let me get a pencil. What is this called? Where are you? Supercharged Self-Healing. Supercharged. No, am I spelling this wrong? Self-healing, yeah. I will look it up because I haven't heard of that. My husband said at work everyone's phone just went berserk for the wind advisory alert. I bet. Anna's leaving for Vegas tomorrow. I mean, all directions seem to be pointing to Vegas right now. Butterfly, your lipstick is gorgeous. Oh, thank you. So I'll tell you what it is. Where is it? I'm back to my like trusted and true, stays on no matter what. I think I've mentioned this before, and this is, I don't mean to be insensitive, but you know, nuclear holocaust can land on your face and the lipstick would still be intact. It's Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. I am not sponsored, but I love it. It's Voyager is the color. Love it. So I like that. What is going on in Vegas that's fun? I mean, I don't know. There's so many things going on in Vegas. We didn't do the strip thing. We were just there to be with family, and we've all gone to Vegas before, so the strip was, we didn't, it's just too much to do the strip. But we did go to dinner, and we had some good sushi in Vegas of all places, and we cooked dinner at home, and it was fun. It was good to be there. Emran says, Anna, sunblock, comfortable shoes, start drinking extra water now, bring lots of layers. Yeah, there's a lot to do in Vegas. We went to the Arboretum there. I don't remember what it's called. There was talk of going to the Meow Wolf exhibit, but we just didn't do that. And yeah, I'm going to see the Killers. Oh my god, I love it. I haven't been to a concert in so long. Holy cannoli, man. All right. Anything else going on with your witchcraft life? What's going on? What new things are you learning about witchcraft out there? Guess if Superstay does not come off, I would have to ensure coloring within the lines. Yes. So it does come off if you have, like, I have makeup removing wipes, but it does take a lot of passes. Like, it's intense. But I can eat with this and it stays on. I mean, it's really kind of weird in a weird way, but it's nice because I don't really think about it. It does get dry over time, that's for sure. Yeah, it does get dry. So there you go. Lipstick advice. You heard it here. Anything else going on in the world of the Witch's Box? Yeah, there is, but we're going to wait. This month is a big month with the whole mystery box sale tomorrow, and then the retreat next week, and the class on Thursday. Oh, this is the other thing that's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of live. I'm going to be talking a lot for the next couple weeks. So if you are an affiliate, listen up. I'm going to have to start posting this all over social media, because if you're an affiliate, you've been sent a couple of emails. Make sure to open your emails. Make sure to not unsubscribe from those emails, because if you unsubscribe from those emails, you will be unsubscribed from the entire affiliate program. And this weekend on Saturday is our very first live gathering for all affiliates, where we're going to be talking about the vision moving forward and how we're going to support one another, and a couple of really cool gem pieces of what that entire affiliate program is. So be there, please. It's at 10 o'clock Pacific time on Saturday. We were originally going to do a second showing of that, or a second live gathering for people who are in a different time zone. But because this month is just so busy, we're not going to be doing that this time. But for the next one, for the second quarter, we will. But again, if you're an affiliate, check your email. We're going to send another email out by tomorrow that reminds everyone that we have a live gathering on Saturday. Got a lot of things going on here. A lot of things. I used to wear the one from CoverGirl in the silver package, and it was awesome, but I haven't done daily makeup in years. I don't know that one. I'll have to look. Yeah, listen, here's the secret sauce, the truth. I only put makeup on for all of you. Unless I'm going to go out somewhere, which is not often. But like, I think my husband knows, if I have makeup on, it's either a Tuesday or a Friday at this point. Because that's it. Or if I go out, like on the Sunday, we like to do like breakfast on Sundays before we go to the farmer's market. Maybe I'll put a little lipstick on, just kind of like zhuzh it up a little bit. Oh, Butterfly, you're so sweet. Thank you. Butterfly says, folks, let's hit those like buttons. We can do better than 13 thumbs up. Well, I'm not even looking at that, but I love that. Thank you so much for saying that. Excuse me. I'm burpy. I'm so sorry. I had a sip of Coke today, which was like a super big treat, and now I think burpy. Anything else? That's it. That's all I got. All I got. I think we all really just need to be running around outside and playing. I'm going to ask for a poll. We've got a couple of things in the works. So obviously, you all know. If you don't, I'm going to say it again. Harvesting the Honey is being revamped, and it'll be live shortly. It was supposed to be happening this month, but I got a massive download of a new layer that really just needed to be added, so I'm like, we're going to postpone it until I get that in there as well. But Harvesting the Honey is coming back. There is a class, someone, I think, Kay, you were asking about sigils. There's going to be a sigil class coming up. There's going to be an ebook on like a protection protocol, and a couple of other protocol ebooks that I'm going to just be putting out, and they'll be like low price but easy for you to like grab, download, and have like a series of protocols for different things magically. But are there things, I'm going to get my pen, are there like burning things that you really, really want to learn? Like, what else could we provide you with? And if it doesn't work for me, I won't do it. But or if I don't know the topic, I won't do it. But we're starting to put all of those things together finally. And I wanted to hear from you in terms of like what would be like of best service to you, basically. There was a recommendation for, because we're going to be covering a lot of dream work in both the virtual retreat and the live retreat, to do something around dream work as well, like a course of some sort. So that's been put on the table. Okay, that's driving advice. I think the lipstick is infallible. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Trying to like chill my shopping. Oh, and there's a separate part that's moisturizing. That might be nice because yeah, this can get really dry. And then my lips feel like they're like really wrinkly, right? Because it tightens them up. Protection sigil, almost definitely. Yeah, definitely protection and sigils are coming out. I've been circling around something, but it definitely won't be a thing that happens anytime soon. Like, and I don't know what to call it, so I'm just gonna put it out there as like body protocols, and not necessarily like, oh, let's be all like health nuts together. It's not that, but the body is a magical instrument and how to really care for it as a magical instrument. But that's not going to happen for a while because that's going to be a pretty extensive thing. I've been just collecting all sorts of thoughts and information around that. Where am I? Okay, you guys talking about that. Topic: mediums connecting to spirit or to those who have passed. I'm writing this down. Manifestation magic, protection magic, elemental work. Beautiful. Hey, Alexis. I feel like you just snuck on in there. Elemental work. Elemental work would be fun. Anna, this is a good point. Anna says, I'd like to talk to someone about manifestation because my spells sometimes bring in negative blowback. That's, yeah. Spells. Blowback. Any magic to strengthen intuition and the clairs. So we're going to be covering intuition in our reading for next month. Augment the clairs. So that is something that I don't even know that I would actually fully create a class around. Maybe like more of an experiential thing, because I think that what Matt Aron did in his book Psychic Witch kind of is like it. He provides so much information. He provides so much by way of exercises and rituals to help augment that, that I would just in the immediate for sure steer you towards that book because he did a beautiful job. Susan says, my favorite lipstick is L'Oreal, especially mica and sun wash colors. Always stay moist, not dry or gunky. Ooh, I gotta check that out. Anyone game to have a chat with me about how to drive out the negative? I think it has to do with me not really accessing personal power, or accessing, yeah. So without knowing the whole situation, sometimes what happens, Anna, is that for instance, I always go to the money because money seems to be a common thing, and it's a concrete type of manifestation intention. You want money and you set up, you want to claim it, you want to bring it in, you need it, you're setting up a spell for it. But you've got, and this is not true, this is an example, let's say that you have like some sort of programming or belief system that you don't deserve money, or that you, to have more money than perhaps, this is a huge one, this happens often with people, witches or not, to have more money than your parents had is somehow bad, it's negative. You will say you want it, you will make spells for it, but your internal state and belief system will sabotage that every step of the way and blow it up in your face. And that tends to be the energetic dynamic that happens when you get blowback. You are bumping up against a limitation that's either within yourself or has been set up for you generationally. And so then the work becomes, back to what we talked about, I think, in the beginning of this video, coming into alignment, really accessing, like, what are my belief systems around this thing that I really want? Do I have programming in me that keeps me limited here? Is me outshining in this area or having this thing flying in the face of a generational pattern? When you are bumping up against either that, people call it like the upper limit syndrome, or you're bumping up against like a generational or spiritual glass ceiling, that's the blowback. Like you're pushing against something, and either you are not in full alignment with, I want to break past this, or you are, but you're going to have to keep bumping up against it until you finally break past it. So karmic debt, I just saw that you posted that. Oh, I just cracked my back. So I have a little bit of a different relationship with karma. So I do not believe, and I have not been taught this in my lineage, that karma is about like you did bad in your past life, so you're paying the price now. That's not quite how that works in the way that I have been taught or the way that I've experienced it. It's more that the thing that you did is part of a pattern, right? You're in a particular energetic groove that continues on into this lifetime. It's not payback. It's a groove. It's very similar, if not the same exact thing, as the belief system that keeps you from breaking past that limitation. So you can call it that, but at the end of the day, there's a limitation that needs to be broken. So assessing what it is, really checking in with yourself to see, is it me? Is it a belief system? Where am I around this particular thing? Has it been a problem in my family? Has it been a problem generationally? And then doing the work to break past that, to shift your thinking, to shift that energy around it so that then you can keep moving forward. Sometimes it takes multiple tries because you're still trying to reprogram yourself, or to cut yourself or cut those ties from continuing to affect you. And changing your belief systems around how much you really can have. Sometimes it's as simple as society, like we live in particular pocket cultures, and then the bigger over culture of, who the hell do you think you are to want the thing that you want? And that can be incredibly powerful in its limitation that it puts on us. It keeps us in a really small box. So those things are generally, right, the reasoning behind those karmic blowbacks, or those energetic spell blowbacks. Hold on, because I missed a lot of typing. I hate is a strong word, but I feel that right now, that when I touch my little keypad, sometimes the whole like chat thing jumps around, and then I lose my place and I forget. I don't forget, but I miss a lot of your comments. Dream work would be great. This is by Kim. And figuring out who your spirit guides are. You're definitely covering that in some of our retreats. Ideas on integrating magic into daily life. Oh, for sure. I love that. Magic in daily life. Hold on. Magic in daily, what time is it? Life. Okay. I just heard a car. Rego says, fascinated with learning more about shoals. I can't find info on the web to understand it. Did find one of your booktubes that did get the basics. Right now I just need basics, but can't buy any books. We'll be covering shoals for sure. I use shoals a lot. I love shoals. It really it builds a momentum in the manifestation that I'm really loving and excited about. A book specifically about shoals I've never seen. And you're right. Like, I'm thinking of that one Chaos Magic book that we read. I don't know how long ago it was. It was like a passage. It wasn't even anything significant. I know that Aidan Wachter uses shoals, talks about shoals in his books, but also it's like a chapter. Well, all that to say is that I will definitely be including working with shoals in the course that I'm putting together, because I think that it's a really powerful way to use sigils. That's much, at least for me, it's become much more effective than just the one. When you have the grouping, it's really powerful, and then the way that you use the grouping can be incredibly powerful. So yes, that is on the list for sure. Yes, yes, elementals and spirit animal and guides. Yes, animals and guides for sure. So this is a great question, Dario. How do you reprogram your mind with magic? There's a couple. So let's talk about sigils. Sigils are, well, I only have 9 minutes, so I'm going to try to go fast. I'm not going to even tell you all of the reasons, but because we have 9 minutes and I have a lot of comments. One of the ways to help reprogram your mind through sigil work as magic, but also don't underestimate the power and the magic of therapy and journaling and really asking yourself. There's a, oh God, who has this? There's a series of questions that help bring you deeper and deeper and deeper into the whys of your belief systems. So journaling, introspection, sigil work, because sigil to me is a great way of reprogramming the internal computer. It works beyond, like, it works in the background while you're doing your life. So those are some examples. We cannot get into that today, but that's an example of that. Alexa says, will Matt Oren's new book make it into one of the upcoming boxes? Been holding off pre-ordering. I'd like it to, but it's not on the schedule quite yet because I have yet to read it. I mean, I trust that it's going to be amazing, but I like to read them beforehand. So it's definitely not going to be in for the next couple of months for sure. So do with that as you need to. Ay. It skipped again. What was I reading? V, yes, not a witchy book, but You Are a Badass talks about aligning what you want with how you feel. Yes, absolutely. And that's a lot easier or harder than you think, because you think, well, of course I want money. I want money. I want money. Of course. How am I aligned? Yeah, but are you? Because if you've got an entire lifetime of difficulty with money, there's a part of you that's driving that, a part of you that's very familiar with that. It's hard for us to move ourselves out of what's familiar. And so, yes, for me, it's that I think money makes people selfish while still wanting and needing money. We all, as witches especially, need to get that out of our thinking. Money is just money. Money is the game board that we're playing on. And we can use it for good or we can use it for bad, but we need it. It's a necessity in this world. And so to want it is to be able to, is to want to move with facility. It's to want to be responsible for ourselves and to take care of ourselves and to take care of our own. It is about the bigger picture planning, because you can't survive this world into your old age without money. So we all need to do a lot of work. And we talk about this a lot in the Harvesting the Honey, because that thinking affects and limits all of us and screws us up in the end. We need to work through that kind of belief system because it keeps us completely. Oh, why were we disconnected? I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, because I got like a little flash of, you've been disconnected. I don't know what's going on, but we're back. It's very weird. I'm getting a little fast now because I got 6 minutes. Okay. Emrin says there's an idea of 7 generations that energetic in our DNA is everything going back, and it affects us. It's interesting to explore. I mean, I would say that it's the whole generational line for sure. Is it I love You Are a Is You Are a Badass? No, I don't even remember the woman's name. Is it a blonde woman author? Now I don't remember her name, but I feel like I've seen that or I've read that. Lauren Berg, hi. Energy Essentials for Witches and Spellcasters is a good one. Ooh, I don't like that. Energy Essentials. I just got really chilly. I don't know why. Oh, that's a book by Maya Ohm. Maya Ohm. I feel like I've seen that name. Can you carry a sigil on your person to help you? Yes, you absolutely can. There are a lot of, like, you're going to read this in books that I don't burn my sigils, by the way, that you should get a sigil, activate it, and then burn it. I don't burn it. I do something completely different with it. But we can talk about that in the future. Shadow work before. Yes, girl, shadow work. Shadow work before spells. Shadow work always. Okay. Seems like digging into yourself before you ask the universe. Yes, absolutely. I mean, and it's an ongoing process that happens all simultaneously. Don't feel like you have to never do a spell work until you've got it all mapped out, because it's a process. It's a whole lifetime of process, and so we just do as we can. But if, like, for instance, if it's healing, then you know that you've got a concentrated amount of time that you can dedicate to the healing and to the excavation within yourself and to the shadow work within yourself around the topic of healing, right? And then life changes, you have a different focus, and then you can work on that stuff. So don't feel like one has to happen completely before you jump into the other. Yeah, we are all connected. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you all saw it, but in the chat box it said disconnected and then it said reconnected. I don't know. Okay. All right, loves. We're gonna go because it needs to be at the hour because I gotta get things ready for the arrival. I hopefully will see you all on Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time for the free class. And then if not, there's also the free guided meditation on Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you are, I don't know that I have any affiliates here today, but if you are an affiliate and you're watching this on the replay, Saturday the 16th at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. So be on the lookout to your email box for that information. Oh, Daria, that's a good question. Okay, let me read this really quick before I go. In your opinion, do planets have a consciousness? For me, they are like huge crystals without consciousness. I do feel like there's a little bit of a loose consciousness around planets, actually. Thank you, Amaranth. I am hoping that I'll stop burping sometime soon. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully I will see you on Thursday.